Hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. So in my previous video, we talked about the dollar index and some of the major pairs, and we said that we wanted to see some kind of pullback from the dollar index. That we wanted to see price pull back to some of the demand ranges we have. Like we had this demand range here, and this was like a refined demand range within this whole range, and we also had this extreme demand range here. So we said we want to see price pull back into this range, or maybe to the extreme demand zone before continuing the bullish structure. And we also had this extreme here. So this week we'll be doing more of some kind of recap and just the normal outlook thing we normally do. So starting off here on the dollar index daily time frame, I'll first of all map out my trading range. So I normally use the last 60 trading days. So we have this, so this is like my trading range low, and then this is my high. So I'll try to study the structure within this range. That's from this whole range here. I try to study the current structure from the last 60 trading days, and then try to determine where the market will be going to next. So here we had this breakout structure here on the daily time frame. We had this breakout structure here, and after we got this breakout structure, this then becomes our new demand range. And if you've been following us along, you know that I talked about this range here. We've had this demand range here for like, I think, 2 weeks now, and we've been expecting price to pull back into the range, and then we can look for longs within here. That's based on what we get on the lower time frames, and then we just try to align the higher time frame with the lower time frames, and then trade with it. So we have this demand zone here after we got this breakout structure, and and we know that since this on the daily time frame, this might look like, let's say, this is like a single push on the daily time frame. We have a breakout structure, and some people, this is like a single pullback, and then we just want to see that continuation. But when you look at the lower time frame, let's say the 4 hourly time frame, you see that this push down here is actually a bearish market structure. That's we have price making lower highs and lower lows on the 4 hourly time frame. So even if price pulls back into this demand zone here, we want to see the 4 hour time frame structure change from being bearish, because this pullback here is actually a bearish market structure on the 4 hour. So we want to see price break that bearish structure. We want to start seeing some kind of bullish structure. That's when price gets into this zone, and then you can maybe look for longs once that 4 hourly time frame starts aligning with the daily time frame structure. You can then look for longs maybe on the 15 minutes or on the 1 minute, and then try to take out this high. So that's how we'll be looking at it on the daily time frame. And we can also say that we've had some kind of, let's say, a daily time frame shift in order flow, in the sense that this was initially a supply zone here, and this be some kind of supply range. This buy this buy candle, this bullish candle here, that it to be some kind of supply range, and then since price tapped into this demand range, we've slightly just pushed up and we've broken that supply range. So we can say that we have a shift in order flow here, that the shifts in the daily time frame order flow. So since we've broken above this high, this automatically makes this range our new demand range. So we can like expect price to maybe pull back a little bit into the zone. That's from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We can expect price to pull back a little bit into the zone before continuing up. So we'll study and see what happens as the week develops. So going over to the 4 hourly time frame, I think everything will be a lot clearer on the 4 hour time frame. So 4 hour. So here on the 4 hourly time frame, so price actually tapped into this zone here. So I just want to mark it out. We have this engulf candle here. So price pull back and we get this daily shifts in order flow. Okay, so 4 hour time frame. So here on the 4 hour time frame, as I said, this daily is the daily pullback here. So this daily pullback here on the 4 hour is actually a bearish market structure because we had this reconstruction here. And in one of my video, I talked about this being, I say, the reason why price on the daily time frame would want to pull back, and we've been pulling back since then. So here we had the break of structure and we saw price pull back into the range, respect the range, and then we had another break of structure here. Price pulled back, respected the range, and the bearish market structure just continued. So we had a break here. So this was like our last lower high on the 4 hour. So this was like our last lower high here on the 4 hour. This was our low. So, but right now we've had that break of structure. So right now we've had that break of structure on the 4 hour. So we've had the break of structure. Oh my god. Okay. So here on the 4 hour, we've had that break of structure, and from what we've learned from market structure, we know that after price break structure, we'll normally get a pullback into the range. Not exactly to maybe a refined demand zone, but maybe just to the top of the range, and then price will continue that bullish structure. So that's exactly the same thing we kind of like want to see on the 4 hourly time frame. So since we've had that break of structure, since we had this break of structure here, we want to see some kind of pullback. We have this as our break of structure. We want to see price kind of like pull back maybe into this supply range here, or even to this range here. So there are multiple ranges we can look at. That's on the 4 hourly time frame. So we have this range here. I'll try not to find this range. So we have this as our supply, sorry, as our demand range. And we also have this as our demand range. And maybe this also, you can see this also our range here. So we have like 3 ranges within this whole range. So for me, I think this is a lot better if you just wait for price to do whatever it wants to do, and then maybe just study the structure on the 15-minute time frame. Because if the 4 hourly time frame is going to pull back to any of these zones, the 15-minute time frame will have to change structure from being bullish here, because this on the 15-minute time frame is actually a bullish market structure. So if the 4 hourly time frame is going to pull back, the 15-minute time frame will have to change structure and start getting some kind of bearish market structure. So until the 15-minute time frame gives us that bullish structure, that's from maybe any of these zones or even from within this whole range, until it gives us that break in bearish structure and we start seeing some kind of higher highs and higher lows on the 15, then we can then look for longs, because then you know that the 4 hourly time frame is bullish. The 15-minute time frame has aligned with the 4 hourly time frame. So we now have bullish 15-minute structure, bullish 4 hourly structure, and we also have bullish daily structure. So everything is aligned together, and our main purpose is to trade in line with the higher time frames. So when the two time frames are kind of like aligned together, we will be sure that we are mostly getting in on the right direction. So these are the zones we'll be looking at on the dollar index. So going over to Euro USD, don't really want to look at the 15-minute time frame, but let me just do it. So yeah, so we have that bullish market structure all the way here on the 15-minute time frame. So if the 4 hourly time frame is going to pull back to any of these zones, we'll start getting some kind of break of structure. Start seeing price breaking all these lows here. So you start forming lower highs and lower lows. So until we start breaking those lower highs and start making higher highs and higher lows, that's the only time we'll be looking for buys to maybe take out the 4 hourly high, or still just aim for the daily high. But we'll see how the week develops and we just react accordingly. So going over to the Euro USD, let me do Euro USD first before the USD. So let me start from the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, we have bearish market structure on the weekly time frame. So know that the what we have on Euro USD is definitely going to be the opposite of what we had on the it to definitely be the opposite of what we had on the dollar index. So here we have that break of structure, and we have like this supply ratio in the daily time frame. So this is the weekly time frame. So we have this supply range here, and we just want to see price continue that bearish market structure. So we can't like want to see price take out this low here. So we want to see price push down all the way from up here to this low. So that's basically how I'm looking at it on the weekly time frame. So we'll try to transfer this bearish idea to the daily time frame. So we'll study the daily time frame and see how we can align that idea with the and try to see how we can align the weekly idea to the daily time frame structure. So here we have this whole zone here, which is that weekly zone. And I think from my last video, we had this supply range here. We had the supply range here. We say we wanted to see price go back to this range or even to this extra range, and we actually got a reaction from this supply zone here, which is actually very nice. So now know that the structure is bearish I want to see price take out this low. So we try to see how the daily time frame is aligning with the weekly time frame. So here we've had that break, let's say some kind of shift in order flow, in the sense that we had this to be our last demand range here, and price has just broken the demand range here. So kind of like just wicked below this range here. So this automatically makes this range our new supply range. So let's have our shifts dollar flow. So, and since we have this to be our supply range, it makes sense to say that we want to see price maybe pull back maybe from Monday, Tuesday into this zone here. And see this buy to sell week, or even to this inside back candle here, just this. But I will be drawing that this line zone. So we know that this is our high, and until price breaks it, we are still within that um supply range. So yeah, so this is what we have. So these are supply range, and we want to see these are supply range, and we want to see price. We want to see price pull back into this supply range and then continue lower. So we can study the 4-hour time frame structure and the 15 minutes and see how we take advantage of this, the move we are kind of like expecting from this range. So that's it for the daily time frame structure for so here on the 4 hour. So here on the 4 hourly time frame structure, we've had I can't really say we've had a break of structure on the 4 hour, because we are yet to get a body close below this low. We just have a weak break. So but there is another way we can still look at it. So we can see that we had a shift in market structure here, in the sense that we have this high here, we have a lower high, price breaks this low, making a lower low. So it makes sense as to why price should pull back to this range. So if the 4 hourly time frame pulls back into this supply range here, we can still look for sales. That's from studying what the 15-minute structure is doing, we can still look for sales within here to continue that bearish structure. But right now we still have some kind of bearish, so sorry, we still have some kind of bullish market structure on the 4 hourly, but we have bearish structure on the daily and bearish structure on the weekly. So we want to see the 4 hourly align with the weekly and daily. That's we want to see it turn bearish. And then if the 15-minute time frame aligns with that of the 4 hourly and daily time frame, then we can then look for sales and then just target this low and see if price will take out the low. So that will be how we'll be looking at it for the 4 hourly time frame. So just checking the 15 minutes. Yeah, don't really have anything here. So yeah, that's it for Euro USD. It's actually very simple and clean. So going over to pound USD. So last week I didn't talk about pound USD. So I just wanted to talk about it. I haven't really looked at this pair for some time. So yeah, so price pulled back into this weekly zone here. the supply zone. You can try to cover the week. So price pulling back into this weekly supply zone. And we know that the structure of the market is bearish. And another thing I will try not to do is I say start looking for some kind of um starting for some kind of demand zone maybe from the left and then start extending them to the right. Like for me, it really doesn't make sense. Just try to focus on the current market structure. So yeah, we have this supply zone here, which is what price taps into, and then here on the daily time frame, we really had the deep pullback here on pound USD. Structure is really not that clear on the daily time frame, but we can just say that we had a break of structure, another break of structure here, and price has now pulled back into our supply range, and we kind of like expect price to respect this supply range and then continue lower to make that lower low. So don't know yet, but we'll see how everything goes. So this is like our trading range low here. So 6 logo. And yeah, everything with the 4 hourly time frame. So here on the 4 hourly time frame, we can see that these are structural low here. So until price breaks this low, we are not really bearish yet. We're still bullish on the 4 hourly time frame. We have bullish market structure, bearish order flow in the sense that this last lower high here hasn't really been broken. So the structure on the 4 hour is still bullish. The structure here on the 4 hour is still bullish, and we are kind of like it's looking as if we are trading within this range, and this is some kind of pullback, looking like some kind of pullback for the continuation up. But we know that the weekly and the daily time frame are both bearish. So if the 4 hourly time frame becomes bearish, then we can look for shorts. But since we are kind of like day trading, we can still follow the 4 hourly structure and then just see where it leads us. So yeah. So the reason why I said we had bearish order flow is because we had this as our last demand range, which is up here. Had this range here, and we had price break below the range, which automatically makes this our new supply range. So, 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 so we shift to that flow. So you can see that these are new supply range. So price pulls back into the supply range, respects the range, and then continue lower to make a new supply range, which is what we had here. We have this again, and it just continues like we form another supply range, and if you look at structure, that's if we try to ignore what happened here, if we ignore this price action here, if you just focus on what happened here, we can even say that we have a bearish market structure in the sense that um, we have this high here, price has now pushed down. We have a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Like it makes sense to read the structure this way and see that we are bearish. But when you like add when you add the data we have on the left side of the chart, we say that we are still bullish, but the order flow is bearish. So for me, I think it's best to just think this one has been broken. So the only thing left is this extra week. So for me, I think it's best to just study the 15-minute structure and see if it will align with the 4 hourly structure. Then we can maybe look for longs. But for now, I think the price is most likely going to pull back into this range here, into this supply range. This could be just a, let's say, reaction point for price. So I think price will most likely pull back into this supply range and then continue lower. So I'm really interested in taking sales from within this range. But if that doesn't happen and we get like a huge reaction that breaks this range here, then we can see that we now have a new demand range and I can comfortably look for buys if price should pull back and respect the range, then I can look for buys to still take out this high. So that will be how I'll be looking at it for pound USD. And going over to the USD, let's see what do we have here. USD has really been pushing down, like we haven't really had any significant pullback since we broke this low. We haven't really had any huge pullbacks, like price has really been bearish on the weekly time frame. That's for the Australian dollar. Daily time frame here, we didn't really get much pullback, but price is kind of like ranging within this high and this low. Like, don't really have much on the Australian dollar. So I think I will leave it as a range because last week I really wanted to see price pull back to some of these zones up here, but we were just within this low and this high the whole of last week. So yeah, I'll just leave it as a range, and I think it's also the same um on NZD USD. I think the price actually is the same. Yeah, yeah, kind of we are just in a range. So honestly, for me, that's just it. I won't really try to study what's happening here, but just wait for price to break out of the range, and then you can then continue following structure. So AUD USD and NZD USD, they are both out of the picture for this week. So yeah, gold. Yeah, we can see. So here on gold weekly time frame, we have bearish market structure from here. As you look at it from here, we have bearish market structure. And so we had this break of structure here. Price pulled back into this supply range here. And we've got now a pullback. We want to see price continue lower and take out this low here. So yeah, makes sense. So daily time frame, what's the structure on the daily time frame? So the structure in the daily time frame is still very bullish because we had this here. To me, this is like a break of structure on the daily time frame. So the structure on the daily time frame is still bullish, but the structure on the weekly time frame is still bearish. Is bearish. So where is our range? So last 60 trading days. Yeah, the weekly high here is range. So we just try to focus on the current price action, which is like for me is the last 60 trading days. I don't go beyond that. So anything outside of this trading range, which is the last 60 trading days, really not going to map out zones from outside the range. So here on the daily time frame, for me, daily time frame is not really looking that clear because if we say that this is our demand range, if we say that this is our demand range, and we kind of like expect price to respect this zone and then continue up, like there's a possibility this could happen. Yeah, I think it's possible that it will happen because we have some kind of equal heights here, and we still have unmitigated supply zones above here. We can use this whole zone here. Still have this zone, and we also have this extreme supply here. So we have like two zones that price is here to pull back to, and daily time frame structure is bullish. So yeah, I think it makes sense to can still look at this zone here. We can look for reaction within this zone and maybe getting long here. That's following daily time frame structure. Or if you wish, you can include this candle here as well. I'll just keep it to this one. So we can look for the reaction here, and better still, we can still study the 4 hour structure and see how the 4 hour reacts to this zone, or maybe how the 4 hourly time frame is reacting from this weekly zone here, and then we can maybe look for sales to maybe target this range here. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, but there are a lot of things can happen here. Oh my god. A lot of things can happen here. Price can respect this push up to take out this buy side liquidity here and maybe mitigate this extreme, not really extreme, but mitigate this unmitigated supply zone before continue up, or it can just go straight down. But still, we can still push up higher into this extreme supply zone here and then continue lower. Like a lot of things can happen here. So we'll just study the structure of the 4 hourly, 15 minutes, and then we'll try to trade in their directions because we are mainly day trading. We try to trade in their direction. So here on the 4 hour, what do we have? What do we have? We have this structure on the 4 hourly time frame. That's judging from, we have this as our break of structure. This price pulls back, respects the range of another break of structure and just continues higher and higher. But here we had this shift in market structure here. We now have a lower high, price pushes down and then breaks this low, making a new lower low. So it makes sense if price should pull back into this last area of supply before the break of structure, then we can still look for sales. You can maybe include this low if you want. So this is like our range. You have the supply range here. Till price already pulled back into that zone. So yeah, we can still, maybe if price should push down again, then we can, that's from where price is currently. If price should push down to break this low here, I'm trying to draw a candle. So if price should push down, and if price should push down here and break this low, then we can look at this candle here. But let's not focus too much. We just see what price does. And we also have this supply range here. So we can use these two zones, but let's use this. So yeah, we have bullish structure on the 4 hour, bearish order flow. Price is yet to break a demand zone. I think it already did. Okay. We had the demand zone here, so it's been broken already. So we have bearish and bullish market structure on the daily and the 4 hourly, but we have bearish order flow on the 4 hour, so we can still follow that bearish order flow. So we can still follow that bearish order flow and maybe look for sales from whatever happens here. So that's it, guys, for today's outlook. And I'm really sorry for not uploading the video I promised to upload last week. I was really busy, so I didn't really have much time to record videos and stuff. But I'll try to get one done this week. I'll really try. So yeah, that's that. That's guys, and I really hope you enjoy the video. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and like the video as well. Yeah, I wish every single one of you a wonderful trading week. Bye for now.